What's up, y'all? I'm not even gonna say this is your girl Summer back with another video because I'm very inconsistent. However, let's just get straight to the story time. This is a story about when I got kicked out in the middle of the pandemic. This is not too long ago, clearly, because we're still in the pandemic. Even though we've been in about a year, so I guess you can say it's been a while, because this was like in the beginning of the pandemic. Okay. So I was living with my child's father, and I had found out he was cheating. This is like the day before. And so I decided to go in a Facebook group, and I found a couple of females that were having like a party and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go out, get my mind off of everything, because I didn't want to be in that situation or being at home with somebody who was treating me the way he was treating me and what he was doing. So I went to this random party and I met, some really cool people, and we drank and we danced. And the reason I didn't ask like other friends is because I didn't have any friends in Hawaii that were in the world. Like, all of my friends were Christian friends. So I didn't want to hit up the people in my life group and be like, oh, let's go to a party, just because I was going through what I was going through. So I met up with these random people with so much food. Like, so much food. That's the one thing I think about when I think about that party. All the food they had. Platters on platters on platters. Because it was for this girl's birthday party. And she invited just like random people and people she worked with on the island. So went up there. Of course you're shy because you don't know anybody. But once you start drinking a little bit, you get loose. So I have fun. Had a good old time. So when I get back to the house, my bags are packed at the door. I get home about like 4 or 5 because, I didn't want to be in the home. So when I wake up, I'm just like, why were my bags packed at the door? And I tell him, can he pick up those bags and put all my clothes back in the closet where they would belong? So that happened. Of course, the rest of the day was tension, which is not good because we have a baby, a small baby at that, in the house. So the next day, we talked it out, and I'm thinking things are going to change and his behavior is going to change. We always believe that when something happens and you love somebody, you'll believe anything. So I'm thinking he's going to change. Things are going to be good. No. So the next day, or that morning, he was supposed to take baby. He was supposed to take care of baby. I was going to get a break. But I found out, because I was being sneaky, I went to his Apple Watch while he was asleep and found out that he was with another girl that morning. I didn't flip out. I didn't go off, because when somebody cheats on you so many times, you just kind of be like, no, you're stupid. Either you stay in that situation or you leave. So I had my homegirl up that I met at the party the day before. I said my homegirl because we're cool now. So I was like, you want to go out? She said, yeah, let's go out. So she's on her way to come pick me up. I get real cute. Fashion Nova shorts, Fashion Nova tube top. And I was like, I'm about to go out. I'm about to look cute. Nails was done. Hair was done. I was looking real good. So he's like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going out. Like, who are you to ask me these things when you're not even taking care of your responsibilities? But once I told him I was going out, he got really angry. He's like, you're supposed to take care of the baby. You're supposed to watch the baby. And I'm over here like, I'm supposed to watch the baby? Interesting. So I'm still getting dressed. Next thing I know, I'm slammed to the ground. On the ground, getting my head, like, we're not even going to go to details, but hands were put on me. So after that, I left the house. She had came and still got me, but the baby was in the house. So he ends up calling my mom because he's really raged. I didn't call any cops. I just left the house. I didn't want to be bothered. And plus, I didn't want to be in harm's way. So I still went out with my friend, and he calls my mom to go to that next step. My mom calls me. She's like, what's going on? He's saying that if you want to get back in the house, you need to call the cops. With it being, I guess it was 2020 back then, nobody's trying to call any cops because situations like that end messy, especially as us both being African Americans. So I'm like, nah. But they're like, Summer, you need to call the cops because how are you going to get your baby? So homegirl takes me back to the house and we knock on a door. I'm over here like, I'm sneaking a window and he will not let me in. So now I'm like, okay, this is serious. So then I end up calling the cops and they come over, they knock on the door, here's the baby, you know, and stuff like that. And straight up, they were like, hey, give her the baby. And he was shocked because of course I didn't have nowhere to go. And he knew that. That's why it was another reason that he kept cheating. He knew I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go. My credit was bad. I had no money. So I was just like out and about. That was another reason why I stayed, because it's just like, where I'm gonna go? I'm on an island. I have no family there. And I'm not trying to burden my church family with my issues. So I take the baby. He packs some of my stuff in a suitcase and that was it. I'm outside. Like, what do I do? So the girl that I met the day before was like, let's get a hotel. So I'm like, I don't have no money. I didn't tell her that, but I'm just like, okay. And she paid for 4 nights. She paid for food. She helped me pack all of my stuff. And it's like, even in those moments, I got to bring it back to Christ. But even in those moments, God is always there. And I think about that. I'm like, a girl that met me the day before. Come on, you don't know anything about me. I don't even know her last name. And I know she didn't know mine. And she paid for me and my baby's hotel stay. Bought breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. Until my parents were able to buy me a flight to leave the island. And I look back in those moments and I'm like, wow, even if I'm not doing right, or if I'm drinking or partying, or if I'm going through something, or I fornicated, or I'm living with a man who's not my husband, God is always there. And it's crazy when I look back at that moment now. That's why I wanted to make this video, because I'm like, man, a random girl who met me a day or 2 days before at a party paid for all my nights at a hotel. Oh, and my parking. She paid for my parking too at the hotel. Paid for my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Was helping me with baby. And she didn't know me. And I just know that was God's hand on me saying, even though you're going through this, I'm still with you. Because I could have been at a homeless shelter. And I could have to sleep in my car. But God's grace and mercy was still with me, even in that situation. So that is all I want to say. That was my story time. And I'm going to try to be consistent. But hopefully you found this story interesting, because I have so many stories. And love you guys. And I hope you guys have a great 2021. Bye.